Boys and girls, it's good to have you in class again this week. Last week we talked about verbs and tenses. Remember we said that verb tenses tell us when an action takes place. We talked about the past, the future, and the present tense. Okay, we say past tense tells us what has already happened. The present tense tells us what is happening now. And the future tense tells us what will happen later. Okay, so I hope we remember that, and we've been using these verb tenses effectively to communicate at home and with our friends. Okay, this morning we are going to look at adverbs. Adverbs. We've heard so much about adverbs before. Adverbs are a part of speech. And adverbs are words that tell us more about how an action is done. Adverbs tell us about how an action is done. Okay? At the end of, by the time this lesson is ending, you will learn to identify adverbs in sentences, and you will be able to make sentences using adverbs. Now, adverbs are descriptive words, meaning that adverbs describe. They modify or qualify verbs, adjectives, or another adverb. So adverbs are descriptive words that modifies or qualifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb. Adverbs are words that tell us more about how an action is done. Adverbs tell us more about how an action is done. Adverbs answer three main questions. They answer the question of how. It answers the question of when. And it answers the question where. Okay? Adverbs answer the questions of how, when, and where. Adverbs express time. It could express a place. It could express a manner or degree of frequency. Adverbs expresses the time, and to be answering the question, when did this happen, or when does this happen, or when will it happen? It expresses a place when it answers the questions, where will it happen, or where did it happen? It answers the questions of how when it refers to manner. How did it happen? Okay? And how much? How often? Okay, for degree it's how much. And for frequency, it answers the question, how often? Okay, so adverbs, don't forget this. Adverbs express a time, a place, manner, degree, or frequency. Adverbs that change the meaning of a sentence by telling us when something happens is defined as an adverb of time. Example, Jim was sick. He spent 4 weeks in the hospital. Jim was so sick, he spent 4 weeks in the hospital. I'd like to go to the movies later. I'd like to go to the movies later. Now look at these two sentences. In the first sentence where we have Jim was so sick, he spent 4 weeks in the hospital. This answers the question, how long did he spend in the hospital? Tells us the specific time, 4 weeks. I'd like to go to the movies when? Later. It gives us a time. I'm not going now, I'm going later. So this is an adverb of time. Okay, it qualifies the verb. When will he go to the movies? later. Adverbs that change or qualify the meaning of a sentence by telling us where things happen are defined as adverbs of place. So adverbs of place tells us, changes the meaning of a sentence, qualifies it by telling us where things happen. Okay? Example, my grandfather's house is nearby. Tells us where. It's qualifying the noun. My grandfather's house is nearby. It's telling us more about the verb. Okay? Is where, nearby. The cat is hiding underneath the couch. The cat is hiding where? Underneath the couch. Underneath is qualifying the verb hiding. Where is it hiding? Underneath the couch. Now we also have adverbs of manner. And adverbs of manner describes something and tells us how it happens. Okay? Adverbs of manner describe how something happens. This jet could actually be flying very fast or slow. If we say this jet is flying slowly, it tells us how it is flying. Okay? Let's look at these examples. He ran quickly. He ran. How did he run? Quickly. He sailed ruggedly. How did he sail? Ruggedly. An adverb of degree is used to discuss the degree or intensity. How much of an action, how much of an adjective, or how much of another adverb. Okay, so adverb of degree is used to discuss the degree. The degree. The price of food has increased enormously. Enormously is the adverb in this sentence. It tells us how much price of food has increased. He was drunk and could hardly get his hands on the keys. How drunk was he? He was so drunk that he could hardly get his hands on the keys. Now, adverbs of frequency are almost like adverbs of time. But while adverbs of time are more specific, adverbs of frequency just tell us how often something occurs. It tells us how often something occurs. We take a vacation at least once annually. So how often do we take a vacation? At least once annually. He is often late for work. How does he come to work? Most times he's late, so he is often late for work. We have so many adverbs. Let's not forget. Adverbs are words that tell us more about how an action is done. Adverbs answer three main questions: how, when, and where. We have adverbs of time, adverbs of place, adverbs of manner, adverbs of manner, adverbs of frequency. Okay? And there's so many words that we could find and place under these adverbs. As long as those words do what specific adverbs do in a sentence, you could label them what they are. I hope we could do that. I'll be longing to hear from you. Tell me what you think about this video. Tell me what you think about the lesson. Tell me what you think about adverbs. Okay, so let's go to Edmodo. If you have questions, please type them. I'll be very ready and very willing to answer your questions on Edmodo. And after we've discussed adverbs, I'd like you to take your quiz that will pop up shortly. Have a beautiful day, boys and girls.